Welcome everyone today. It's a pleasure to see you all here. Welcome to our wonderful Tangem AMA. For today's episode, we've got a lot of things planned. We're going to be diving into specific emphasis on our Asian sector. We've got a wonderful guest today who will be diving really deep in understanding into more of the Asian markets and how it kind of differs from the European markets and a lot of other interesting things that we have behind the scenes for you. Of course, for today, we're going to be diving in and looking at our roadmap as well, answering a lot of your questions. So if you didn't have the chance to ask all those questions in advance, be sure to drop them into our live section right now, where I'll be able to pull them up on the screen a little bit later in the episode. For today, we've got a little bit to cover first for our kind of presentation part, where we run through our questions that were prepared in advance. Then we're going to run through the roadmap. And finally, we're going to wrap up with your questions. Our winners for the questions that we have in advance and live as well will be announced in our Discord. And for now, I think we're ready to start. Let's kick things off. There's a lot of you waiting already here in the live stream. It's lovely to see you all. So let's jump in and meet our guest. Hi, welcome. I was struggling a little bit with the switching on everything, you know, when you have too many things going at the same time. Hi, how are you? Let's start with introductions for today. Dasha, kick it off.
Yeah, of course. Hello, Anna, and hello to everyone joining us for this live. It's such a pleasure to be here in this exciting AMA and connect directly with our incredible community in here. I guess we've been looking forward to this moment for quite some time, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We've had this idea for a couple of months. We were waiting to get through the Q2 roadmap, and then we had the AMA with our CEO last. So now we were finally like, Dasha, this is your moment to shine. Come in, tell us all about your sector. And we've just launched the Japanese community as well. So it was perfect timing, and we're very excited to have you with us. Dive in a little bit about details on like your history, your background before Tangem, and how long you've been with us, all of those kind of details.
Yeah, for sure. I guess my background is a bit diverse, so let me dive a bit in the timeline. I've been focused on business development, marketing, and partnership growth in a APAC region for Tangem. As for my background, I've been living in Korea for 5 years, engaging in business development landscape, starting from solid foundation in business school in Korea University, followed by roles in API-focused startups in both Korean and American sectors. Also experience in marketing, partnership initiatives, community growth, educational projects. And also one of the tasks was about leading the e-commerce efforts, the strategic product planning to drive expansion across Asian markets. So about Tangem and my role in here, I joined the team in December last year, and I remember getting this offer, and I was so impressed by how innovative the product was. I saw all those collaborations, and it was definitely this wow effect, you know? And I'm not even talking about the ring coming out, guys, you got to prepare. But yeah, it was really, really impressive. And, you know, the opportunity to take on a role focused on Web3 with Tangem felt like a natural progression. I think a chance to apply my skills and expertise to drive Tangem's growth in the region. And it's not every day that you come across, you know, such a role that aligns with your passion and professional aspiration at the same time. So I guess that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
I love it. I joined the team relatively around the same time, I think a month or so before you came on board. So it's very great to have like a lot of growth around the end of the year that we had. But it's great to have, you know, a specific interest in this niche market. So it's great to have you on board, and I'm glad to be here as well. Yeah. Look, there's a lot that we can dive into. I think what we're going to do now is we've got a presentation lined up. I did very well with the presentation again. So let's start it off, and then we can kick it off from there.
Perfect.
Does that sound good? I think so. Okay, B-roll coming up. I'm always a little bit nervous that I haven't switched it on in time, but here we go. We've switched everything on in time. Gentlemen, ladies, welcome to Tangem AMA for the Asia focus that we have for today. Let's run through the questions. The format is going to be easy. I'm going to be asking the questions, and then Dasha is going to be answering. It's going to be great. Let's kick it all off. Okay. Right. Dasha, can you describe the difference between promoting crypto services to Asian markets versus Eurocentric markets? What are the differences to keep in mind? Yeah, that's the question. Let's dive in.
Of course, thank you so much. Like then this type of questions are being asked. I'm usually always saying that I do not really like to ask, those type of questions, because especially in terms of the markets we are comparing right now, you will be so surprised if we will talk about similarities in here. But I guess since like our community would like to know more about, like the initial scope of the market, we will go for a simple introduction of the market differences. But yeah, please keep in mind, we do not oppose those, rather than just telling you the facts that you guys might find interesting. So yeah, let's probably dive into the introduction to market differences. I think to do that, the first and the most important part would be talking about numbers. In APAC region, apparently there are 4.3 billion people living, and out of this number, there are around 160 million cryptocurrency users according to 2023. And if we talk about Europe, it will be around 741 million people living there, while around 31 million of cryptocurrency users, which is obviously like a drastic change and like a drastic difference in those two. And that is why we will probably not be able, to cover all of the sectors in Asian Pacific, but we'll definitely try to dive in some specific facts about it. And, as much as I hate the word generalizing, we will have to do this a bit today so you guys can get the main idea. Yeah, followed by that, you might think, what would be our main strategy in here? What's like the main motto? How do we perceive our journey in here? And that is why we have this motto on the screen for you. It would be localize, innovate, and partner while driving digital finance forward, or shortly LIP. I hope you guys will remember this one for the whole journey during this AMA session. I will repeat it a lot of times. But yeah, to explain it a bit more why we chose it, I think we have to jump into the points to discuss about the differences. So the first one you might all had in mind would definitely be the regulations and the environment connected to it. I would say Asia is a bit diverse in terms of it. They have strict regulations for some countries. At the same time, they have even outright bans somewhere. And some of them have evolving policies, making it really, really positive market to develop in. While for Europe, it's a harmonized under MICA, emphasis on GDPR, compliance and investor protection. So, we will not go too deep into discussing the, institutions behind it like FCA or ICOs. But yeah, you can definitely hear that regulations will affect this path of Web3 a lot. Followed by that, it's definitely cultural perceptions. Asia has high trust in tech, cautious with financial innovations, and enthusiastic about digital finance. While for Europe, we would probably say emphasis on privacy, data protection, ethical standards, and higher skepticism to the technologies, especially new ones. While talking about cultural perception, though, it's really important to understand that like regulations are closely connected to this one, because I imagine you live in a country which is so positive about digital finance. It's so like outgoing, promotes how safe it is, that they apply new regulations to make it more transparent, while the other ones like translate how dangerous it is, how this tool should not be used, and that people should stick to traditional financial tools and invest into savings accounts, like stocks, bonds, and our ones. So by talking about cultural perception, we have to understand that if one environment starts changing, this perception will change too. So it's really interesting factor to consider. And followed by that, one of the important points we definitely have to chat about is marketing strategies and communication styles. And that's where finally the LIP, our main motto, will get in the picture. So yeah, basically for Asia, in terms of marketing strategies, it's definitely the leverage of local partnerships. You could see us doing it quite a lot, because I think it's one of the most powerful tools for you to increase your brand awareness in the segment. The next one would be emphasis on compliance and security. And of course, the usage of local platforms. I think it's almost impossible to, do that without using it. Also, of course, search engines. For Korea, it would be Naver. For Japan, it can be Yahoo Japan and much more. And of course, content adaptation, because you have to understand that the preferences of your audience are so different. As for communication styles, I would say it's usually the respect formal and hierarchical business etiquette. I faced it a lot in my, professional path journey. But I would say it also really depends on the culture within the company or the project itself, which is also such an interesting point to view while you're working in it. But yeah, why LIP would you ask? I will remind you, it's localize, innovate, and partner. As you could see, all these local partnerships can increase your market understanding so much. You're gaining different perspectives. You're gaining new partnerships in the sector that actually know their users the best. That is why you have to understand that localization is the key factor to your success, while using local platforms, while doing the content adaptation, translating to the local languages. That is how you can actually connect with the users within the sector. Next one, innovation. I do not even know if I have to explain that, but of course, if you are, for example, a global brand, right, and you're trying to expand your horizons within this market sector, there is no way you cannot innovate this product within it. So you obviously have to do that. And lastly, partner. It's also not just about marketing, but much deeper. It's about the supplier chain. It's about the partnerships on the regulation side, as well on your marketing partnerships, obviously. And as for Europe, we shouldn't forget, we still have it here. It would be focused on transparency, data security, use platforms, also famous for the segment, engage with local influencers. I guess influencer marketing is really strong. You could probably also notice that. And of course, localize for major languages like French, Spanish, German. I guess in Europe, some users would use English much more than in Asian Pacific sector, and that's why we're having lots of other efforts being sent to this localization type of strategy right now. And for communication style, of course, we shouldn't forget, it would be about informal and direct communication, which is a bit different from the Asian sector. I guess towards this one, I have really interesting topic to discuss as well. You might also think, so, okay, I'm talking about this LIP, localize, innovate, and partner, but what if you're already so global, everyone knows you, and why should I do that? And actually, it's really funny because usually it's the biggest mistake of global brands that they could actually ever do. Sometimes they actually missing the point that being global is not enough, and it's not Tangem. We never would make this one. So for example, I would probably specify, we will talk about Korean market a bit, about two famous companies like Walmart and Uber who tried to actually penetrate the market. For Walmart, it was obviously actually the problem of LIP fail. They failed to identify consumer preferences, didn't really localize the experience. They even used their American stores banners inside of the stores, which never actually followed the preferences of the Korean shoppers. They also didn't really calculate how many competitors are in the market. For example, there is an Emart or Lotte Mart, and they have such a powerful base of consumers with perfectly localized experiences for those, marketing tools used perfectly, partnerships with suppliers in the local market are also on point, and they didn't really calculate that. So then they penetrated the market with a local strategy. They actually failed, and they never returned after that. So that is why it's so important to understand that being global is not enough, and you have to really listen to your consumer really, really well for that. And the second one will be shorter. It's about Uber. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard about this, but they actually also tried to being represented in the market. But they actually have been followed up by the regulation fail. If you don't know, in Korea, there is a really specific regulation policy for the taxi drivers and taxi services. You're not allowed to be unlicensed in here. And as far as you know, Uber is actually the company that allows almost everyone who can drive to be within the service. So yeah, it didn't really end well for them because they didn't really calculate the risks of being in the market, and they got sued, which is not that great. And they are taking care of it as well. So yeah, that's basically about LIP, and I hope you guys kind of understand it better right now, why it's so important for you to use it as your strategy in the market. Yeah, followed by that, they're still on the same question, surprisingly. We will talk about user preference, lastly, and consumer insights. For tech-driven companies and for Web3, I guess, in Asia, it's really important to understand that the services are being mobile first, high engagement of social media, mobile payments, while for Europe, it would be mixed desktop and mobile usage, strong emphasis on privacy and data security. It's also, I always have like this story prepared for such case explanations. For example, like users are really, really responsive in here. So by high engagement, it literally means that if you, for example, represent a new product, lots of global brands, they try to actually go into Asian market first. The reason for that is because you will get your feedback so fast, you will not even be able to blink. You will get like 2-page reviews, 5 photos attached. They will explain, like your top qualities, your bad qualities. And that's like so nice for you as for brand, anyone who can actually take this critics, normally they can improve so fast. So yeah, it's really fun. Then I, for example, go on Coupang. It's like one of the marketplaces that everyone uses in here, and I'm just like, okay, like I'm gonna buy this onion set. I wanna like order it from here, and you go to this onion set, product card. And you see that there are so many reviews, people taking like 6 pictures from each angle, onions in the package, onions out of the package. If they have some flows in it, they will take a picture of it. It's in so any type of reference you could find. After that, there will be like an explanation, why they liked it, why they disliked it, how they recommend you to use it. So yeah, like this level of detailed feedback is actually so gold for us. Like it helps to pinpoint your strengths and highlights those, as well as decrease the flows and address them accordingly. So yeah, this kind of responsiveness and transparency is invaluable, I guess. It pushes us to continually innovate and refine our offerings, ensuring they meet and exceed the expectations of this dynamic market. So yeah, I guess this is the end of the question for me and my reply. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. I'm listening to like the breadth of knowledge, and gradually you're just getting more and more passionate about it. And I'm listening to him going, Tangem is so lucky. Tangem is so lucky. Because that's what you want. You want somebody who's really passionate about something and is able to bring that passion not only to the product itself and the development, like you said, because we have so much quick feedback from the communities that we have locally, but it's also your personal passion for it that really translates, and I love it. So I'm almost a little bit like sad that we have other questions to cover, because I feel like we could dive into each one so much, so deeply.
Exactly.
But I think let's keep it going, because we do have questions. All right, let's dive in first. What's the perception of crypto wallets compared to traditional finance projects? Sorry, let me start again. What's the perception of crypto wallets compared to traditional financial products in Asia?
Of course, you will be surprised. Guess with what is going to be connected. The first letter is L. The second one is I, and the last one is P. LIP, guys, LIP.
So let me bring it up just in case we forgot. Localize, innovate, and partner. I think that's the thing for today. It should be just everywhere plastered. Just LIP.
Yeah, I should have actually printed it out and put it in here, guys, so you could see that.
Oh wait, we do actually have it. There we go. Localize, innovate, partner. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, talking about perception of crypto wallets compared to traditional financial products. We kind of covered it a bit in the first question, I guess, while I was talking about regulations, as well as the cultural perception of Web3 field itself. But yeah, of course, let's dive into it. So, as I said before, it really depends on how tech savvy the region is. For example, like Japan and Singapore, they embrace crypto wallets as a future of finance usually. As for like Japan, we could see like some interesting adaptation of innovation, like XRP Ledger, and as well Aptos, one of our partners, and Alibaba's cloud collaboration. So you can see those, like huge collaborations on the market, how supportive the market is towards those. And I guess that would actually, improve this perception within the market. But of course, as I said before, it really depends on those regulations. So, for example, if those are supportive, then crypto wallets will be like a solid alternative to these financial tools and financial products. While in regions like the strict regulations, traditional financial tools are preferred actually for obvious reasons, as we discussed before. It's being promoted as a dangerous tool, like huge risk taking. And they just feel much safer using traditional financial tools instead. Followed by that, we can chat about economic factors, obviously. In inflation-prone countries, usually crypto wallets are seen as protective option. They think it's much, much safer to be used, and we understand why. While in stable markets, I would say traditional financial products remain strong, and they just kind of on the same level of using those within the market. So I guess to put some kind of conclusion in here, as I said before, perception of crypto wallets in Asia is shaped by tech adoption, regulations, economic conditions, personal views on crypto wallets. Also, guys, you have to understand, influenced by way more than just cultural or tech factors. And as the landscape evolves, so will the acceptance and integration of these innovation financial tools. And of course, the best tool to reach the best results for the driving digital finance forward company would be LIP, Localize, Innovate, and Partner.
I was going to make that joke earlier. You were like, to summarize, I'm like, LIP? Yes, I assume so.
LIP, guys, LIP. You never miss on that one today,
I think it's good to have a theme to things.
Exactly.
Anything that can be summarized in something very fast means that you're on point, Dasha. So you're good. Everything's perfect. That's a great answer. I love it. I can see a lot of questions. They're a little bit interesting in terms of we're going to tackle these questions a little bit later, but in terms of stable coins and everything, I know because I made the presentation that we're going to be touching upon these things. So just be patient with us. But I think we're ready to move on to the next question, aren't we?
Of course. Let's go.
Okay. How can I? All right. I'll do this in one take.
Yes.
How do we incorporate feedback from local users to improve Tangem's products and services?
I'm sorry to say that, but LIP. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah, I will definitely explain me more. It's not going to be that connected to it, but of course, it's the same concept. I guess let's talk about the literal points we've been going through these days, and you could literally see those on our social medias really actively. For example, we are really excited for app translation for our Asian Pacific users. Japanese version is going out soon. Website was translated to Korean. Also, we have block translation going on, so our users can really comfortably access those and be really positive about their experience of Tangem wallet. Also, as Anna said before, Japanese community, finally, guys, it's here. Really excited about that. Really excited to see lots of new people in there. And of course, would be more partnerships with local communities. Those really help us to increase our understanding of the market. What are the preferences of the users? What do they want to see? We also engage with different people within the sector and really helps us to broaden the horizons. And of course, I think one of the most important parts for each company would be the feedback and improving the customer journey. I think for us, it's been like truly a priority for, I guess, like the whole journey of our company being existing, you know. So yeah, it would definitely be this one. Working on currencies, for example, we've got lots of feedbacks on that people from different countries would like to see their order being placed in their own currency. Also, easier access to the stocks in local markets, like local placement on the marketplaces, more often types of restocks of those, as well as new features of the user experience. As we discussed before, guys who listen really carefully, Asian Pacific is really mobile first type of market, so we are trying to improve the features on our like app, on our website for those who actually do use their mobile phones, so you can actually get a really nice experience. After that, obviously, NFT support. I guess it's so popular in Asia. We're trying to make it much easier to access and use it. And of course, Ring release, guys, we're working on it. Coming out soon. I hope you can wait a bit longer because yeah, it's going to be really exciting. And yeah, like I guess if you guys are from Asian Pacific, because I guess there are lots of our partners listening to it, thanks a lot for joining. You can always text us our like Tangem official account, or you can text me. I'm also on Tangem, and always send that you're actually willing to collaborate with us. If you have some feedback, we're always more than welcome to like listen to it, you know, improve points that we actually can improve. And we're always really excited because LIP, localized innovate partner, that's our goal in here. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of things to add there is that we do actually have a wonderful community, not just local, but we have our Discord and our Telegram, not even just the localized communities, but we have a great English community. So if you are wanting for us to look into some of your partnerships ideas more, if you generally just have feedback for us, we're all ears. Night and day. We have a team of moderators. We tally every single idea up. So it's not like you don't have a place to go to voice your opinions. Like you were mentioning earlier with the onions, where consumers like leave these big dramatic reviews for things. We welcome things like that. Sure, like we have a more complex product than just a simple
Audience.
product, but
Yes.
we would love to have that level of interest in our product. So if you have any ideas, bad, good, everything, drop it in. We'll be more than happy to take a look and move forward with that. I always need my 2 seconds to plug the community, so thank you for letting me have that. But I think we can move on to the next question for now. I'm a little bit conscious of time. We've got so many questions coming up, so let's run through that in a second. Okay. What emerging trends in the Japanese, Korean markets do you believe will have a significant impact on the crypto industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
Of course, really interesting question, actually. I really hope, you know, by discussing those and afterwards in 5, 10 years, people will hit me up and tell me, wow, Dasha, you actually have been so right about this. And you actually right now a billionaire, but we will see. So yeah, let's go about like all those trends right now. Really interesting question. And since we're focusing on just like 2 markets like Japan and Korea, I would probably specify certain points in here. The first one is definitely the regulations and the evolution of those. Japan right now has been tightening its regulations on crypto a bit because, you know, probably you've seen major hacking incidents are happening. However, like recent developments such as, you know, like revised Payment Service Act on stable coins, it actually indicate a more supportive stance from the government. And some people can actually view it, you know, like as an act of control, like, oh, it's like much more, you know, like caged right now. But at the same time, if you take a look at it from the other perspective, it actually fosters a more secure and stable environment for crypto investments, which is really good. After that, definitely, as I said before, NFTs and gaming, they are really, really big in Asia right now, in Japan and Korea especially. Gaming focused projects are like gaining traction everywhere. And I think these sectors are expected to grow even more, driven by those like communities, by community building, localization. And yeah, I think successful projects have shown the potential for localized marketing efforts, yeah, to resonate with Japanese users and Korean users as well. The third point, I would think it would be decentralized finance, DeFi, and also DAOs. You could see us collabing with DAO Tokyo on different scopes. Right now, we're also discussing a few really, really interesting projects in Korea, also DAOs and educational projects. So they are really excited for that. So while DeFi efforts are currently limited due to regulatory restrictions, I think there is potential for growth as regulations evolve. DeFi could revolutionize traditional finance services, saving accounts, trading platforms. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to it. Yeah, followed by that really interesting one. I'm sure everyone in here actually have heard of it or actually faced it a lot. Tokenization, guys. Tokenization in of assets. I think it's such a huge trend everywhere globally, not just in Asia. I feel like people actually tokenize everything, like water, earth, fire, air. After that, I actually have to say, a long time ago, before nations lived in harmony, to make it an avatar reference, but I will not. But you got the point. I think tokenization is a huge trend right now, and I'm really curious how it's gonna evolve later on. Yeah, and I think lastly, we gotta mention this a bit. It's about digital yen and won and CBDCs. Japan is actively exploring right now this development of central bank digital currency, and they actually having, if I'm not mistaken, 60 companies of partnerships, doing those pilot phases right now. As for Korea, as far as I know, it's a bit fluctuating. I cannot say they're like right now doing this like at this exact time. There have been lots of interesting points going on. So for them, it's like, so question. But I found it really interesting that so many people have concerns of that, since it will increase the level of control in digital finance. But at the same time, one of the backlines behind it are definitely increased adoption, regulatory clarity for lots of people. It will increase this awareness within the market, as well as innovation, competition, and of course cross-border transactions, I think. So yeah, this is the end. Let me know if in 5 years if I was right, and hopefully I will be this guy with Bitcoin who told everyone to buy it, and I will be a billionaire by then.
I think anybody who's in the end, I think anybody who's in this stream is one of those people that we're all kind of hoping that we're going to be able to rub it in the faces of those who disbelieved at the time.
Yeah.
There's so much evolution in the space, like you mentioned, regulatory environments are going to change. It's not just to do with the Korean market and the Japanese market.
It's much more.
Or any other market, not to be biased against anybody. It's just, it's something that concerns all of us. I think with me, myself, I'm curious to see not just how the US regulation changes and, EU regulation changes, because it's going to have such an effect. But altogether, I think we're entering the stage of some sort of maturity in the market. And I think your markets, which you specialize in, are first to kind of push this. So I really hope that it's going to take less than just 5 to 10 years to see all these kind of changes approach. But
same. Yeah, if I'm not a billionaire by then, guys, I'll be sad.
Well, I don't want to say I'll settle for millionaire because oh no, settling. But let's use this live stream as we told you kind of moment. So if you guys are in the comments as well and you want to leave a little moment, then you kind of count, so you can come back to it.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds great. I love it. What is the wonderful thing that we have learned about today? If we could all repeat it all in one. LIP stands for, now you jump in.
Localize, innovate, partner.
And partner. Okay. I think we can wrap up this section then, in which case we can run through to the next section, which would be our wonderful roadmap. I know that this is one of the reasons why people kind of tune in intently. But let me run through this a little bit quickly. This is the current roadmap that we have with us for today. For those people who don't know or are joining us live for our first session, live with us for their first session. This is a time in which we kind of run through an update of our roadmap. This is the best format that we've come to at the moment in terms of sharing what is going on behind the scenes, how we're developing our products, and this is where we are right now. So for the upcoming release, so 5.12, we will have the following tokens. So this will be Joystream, Manta, Cardano tokens, and Hedera tokens. So those have been a little bit, I'm hesitant to say delayed. It's more that we did anticipate them a little bit earlier, but they are coming very, very soon. This is a perfect time to also mention a thing called the Tangem Club. So Tangem Club is a community. It's very small. It's very, it's one of those things that you kind of have to apply for. So we want to understand that for sure people are going to come in, they're going to give their feedback. This is not an early access club. This is about providing feedback on the beta builds that we have live. And 5.12 is coming up very, very soon. So when we say early July, it is definitely coming early July. So those things are just around the corner. Also for July and then nearing towards August is going to be Coinos, Bit&Sword Tau, ICP, Mantle, Blast, Say, Filecoin, and then as well, we've moved from under consideration. We will be taking this, which will be Sui. One thing to mention very briefly is when we say under consideration, this means that it is subject to change. Please do keep that in mind. We understand that everybody is very keen on getting their tokens listed and up with us as soon as possible, but do understand this is not a very straightforward process as it might seem from the background. Developing products is a very nifty thing where it requires a lot of different moving parts, and we want to remain, make sure that all of our assets which are integrated are there and able to be decentralized, and you can always access it, and you are completely your own self-custodian. So from that perspective, when we say under consideration, it means that it is under consideration and things are subject to change. In terms of app developments, for July, we've got Tangem Ring. Pre-orders are starting now mid-July. We did promise end of June, but we are putting the final polishing bits on a couple of little things, so that will be with you very, very soon. OKX, DEX, and Bridge will be also with you very, very soon. This is also, I don't want to say exactly which release, but it is coming very, very soon. Staking native, we've talked about this before. App localization, that's also coming very soon. We've talked about this before. And for August, we've got our markets and in-app new visuals and information coming up. Currently, what we have in research and development is we've got new swap providers, which we'll be announcing very soon. Account on-ramp is currently in design. Wallet Connect is coming for non-EVM. This is currently in research and development stage. Transaction history redesign, transaction scam detection, which is something very new, which we will talk about a bit later. NFT native support and incognito mode for send. A couple of these, they're new for us on this roadmap. We will be releasing more details as they become more available. And of course, a couple of you may have noticed Q3 has just begun. So we definitely need to publish something very soon into the community and into our socials to do with a big roadmap picture of where we are for Q3. But I think that's where we are with the roadmap currently. We'll just run through that quickly. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll publish this out into community very, very soon. A couple of community mentions, like I mentioned before, Tangem Club. If you want to be a beta tester for us and join and have lots of wonderful perks, be sure to follow this wonderful link, or you can ask any one of our moderation team who is in our Discord and in our Telegram group, and they will point you to the right place. We've just launched our Japanese community, and we will be launching a couple more very, very soon. And of course, we want to celebrate our Discord server is 1 year. So in one short year, we've had such a big jump and such a big development of our community. It's been really wonderful to have everybody on board. We've grown so much, and onwards and upwards. All right, I think that's it. On to the main event, your questions. I think that's it. If you've got wonderful questions right now, this is perfect. Drop them into the stream. I'm seeing them all coming live. Wonderful compliments as well. I mean, great. But let's focus this a bit on more either the Asian sector or on Tangem products specifically. Right, I think that's it. Let's jump into the questions. I'll stop my wonderful presentation. I'll remove this. And I've got a wonderful little thing called community questions. right, community questions. We will be jumping in very, very quickly. How about I pull this up? So a couple of these, not even a couple, we've got a lot of these which have already been sent through via a different platforms like Discord, Telegram, and so on. So we have had the chance to prepare for them. But all of those live jumping in right now, I can see they're coming in. Please continue sending them through and we'll be able to answer them live. So let's go. What is needed to enter the Asian market?
Lovely question. Lots of insights today, and this one is not an exception, I guess. For this one, I think it does not really correlate with just Asian markets. I think you have to have a clear understanding of your product, of what are your goals within the sector itself. By having this, you also have to have this type of strategy we talked about. I will not call it in here anymore because all of you guys, I know it's like LIP in here. Because if you just pretend to be global, that you're like, that's enough. I'm not gonna lie, it's not enough. You have to understand your product, your strengths, your bad sides, improve those, innovate constantly, find the best solutions for the segment, and then you will be able to succeed there. And
Okay, great. Let's move on. This is a personal question that was dropped through a little bit earlier. I've just altered it in the moment because you shared those details live. But why did you choose to learn Korean and move there?
Oh yeah, so personal. We're getting personal, guys, in here. Obviously I chose Korea as one of the paths in my life. It was actually really interesting. I've been in high school back then I was choosing the country to move to. But I would say since my, really, really young age, I was always like, oh, I'm going to move abroad for sure. So initially I was thinking actually about moving to Japan. But the reason I didn't is because I really, really loved the culture in Korea. I thought it was really open, really aligning with my own, goals, my own personal views, my mentality, and the language is also so amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's easier than Japanese because it's actually an alphabet. So I was smart on that point too.
So you mean to say that you chose something just because of the alphabet?
No, I'm saying
you just loved it.
Exactly. I'm saying it's just like one of the points. I found it really, really interesting. Plus, I would say, it was a new, division direction. Not many people back at the time, were choosing Korea, while I think Japan was more popular. And I actually saw it as a really good opportunity for my future career, going to business school right now, living here, being here with you right now, talking here. I guess it kind of proves that it was the right decision. Yeah, and I'm here for a reason.
I think everyone in Tangem kind of agrees. We kind of love you specializing in your sector, and we're really glad that you joined us too. So that's very good. Yes. And I assume that you know Korean quite well, being that you've been living there for like 5 years.
No.
It's a work in progress. All right. How about, let's tackle another one. Why do you love working in this market?
Yeah, I also think lots of guys could see how passionate I am while talking about the market itself. So I guess lots of questions can be answered by that. But if you talk about specifics, I think it's definitely for the people. And, while living in here, I feel like I grew so much as a person and as a professional because you are able to get this type of experiences through, learning not just new culture, but new ways of perceptions you could actually get. So while doing those collaborations, you're actually being able to create such an important message for the world. You can improve your product, you can improve your own perception, the preferences, and create something together. And I think then you see this result, that's what gives you this feeling that you're doing everything right. So that what keeps me moving forward a lot, because I think this market, like Asian market, is a bit complicated to penetrate because it's pretty closed, to be honest. You have to understand it pretty well. You have to collaborate with people really, really nicely. So I think it's really rewarding when you see the results, and I truly love it. I truly love meeting new people, doing these collaborations and seeing it.
Brilliant. Oh, you are doing such a wonderful job. Can we have you on always, please?
I would love to. Just gotta work some time on
all the time. Let's pull up a couple of easy questions. I can just see that they're just dropping in, just so we can just run through them quite quickly. Just so we're out of the way. When do you ship Vivid Tangem cards? They will be coming early mid-July. There is that little note on the website right now, but we will be updating that very, very soon. So shipping will start very, very soon. A couple more things to pull up. And the same thing for Tangem Ring. When will the pre-order for Tangem Ring start? As we mentioned in our roadmap a little bit earlier, this will be coming mid-July, so please rest assured this is coming. Do not be concerned. All right, a couple of them are a little bit more difficult to answer. Not difficult per se, it's more like it will require some diving in. So maybe let's take something from in advance. Oh, actually, I can take this one. Sorry, Daya. I'm going to be able to quickly jump in this. So one of the stealth cards coming. This was something dropped in earlier. I have a little sneak peek for you. They are coming. That's the very quick answer to this. Stealth cards are coming within 5 to 6 weeks. They are currently in production. Let me share the image just right now on the screen. So only you know its essence and its whereabouts. Oh, what a beautiful little thing. This has been really highly requested by the community. We had a question about it and even a poll, really. But now we've finalized all the details. We won't be sharing any more of the details up front, but here you go. Stealth Wallet is coming 5 to 6 weeks. So rest assured that will be coming. All right, let's take another one for you. How about this one? How do you become a beta tester of the Tangem Ring or Tangem Pay? You actually have the Tangem Ring right now, don't you?
Yes.
I don't have it yet.
Yeah, as I always say, it's like the price you get for, participating in all events and like exhibitions with Tangem because you work 24/7, guys.
So you have it right now. You're one of those lucky people. All right. Well, look, we have the Tangem Beta Club, like I mentioned before. You can test the app there. But it is there to of course, it's a feedback providing place. So it's not just you get access to it and that's it. In terms of other products like Tangem Pay, those things are coming towards the end of the year. So there'll be different programs, I assume, released around that time. But you also have to understand that these kind of things are very dependent on we can't just send them out to anybody. It does have to be very particular because of the kind of feedback that we want to receive. So a lot of these products are coming a little bit later. So like Tangem Pay, Tangem Ring is coming out in a couple of weeks, right, for pre-orders. So more details will be available later. All right. Dasha, do you feel brave?
I am brave, actually, being here, guys.
Okay. We've got really difficult questions now. Not difficult, but they just require a lot of jumping into things. How about this one coming up? How is Tangem addressing the environmental impact of producing its hardware wallets? And are there any sustainability initiatives? Could you tackle this one, or would you like me to jump into it?
Probably you.
All right. Well, it's one of those questions that we have to be quite careful about answering, right? So environmental impact is something we are very much interested in, and we do have various initiatives internally that we always are keeping in mind. We want to make sure that we're doing everything as safely and securely as possible while keeping in mind that environmental impact is a thing, and as a company, we do have to, of course, prioritize. So we do have sustainability initiatives. We might be sharing some of them publicly, but internally, we're making sure that those things are always in check and able to be looked into correctly. But if you have any more questions, we have Discord. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I actually would like to add just like a bit of it. It's not connected to environment, but also, yeah, I hope you guys know that Tangem is actually really actively participates in, like donations. For example, like then we get commission for certain like co-brands or some projects. We actually do donations to the like pet shelters on those collaborations. So we have so many like ways we're trying to, improve and do something good. As much as we can.
As much as we can. Good answer. All right, this one should be quite good for you to answer. What are Tangem's future expansion plans in Asia, and what new markets does it aim to enter?
So obviously, guys, those plans are generally huge. Right now we just like chatted about like few markets, but the behind the scenes we're actually working on almost all markets. As far as you know, we are represented in like 140 plus countries as like reseller partnerships, and we're like raising this number really really fast. So yeah, like it will be like complicated if I start just like counting like 20 countries in a row. But yeah, plans are huge. Right now we're trying to improve the presence in Japan as the main like sector we are focused on. But yeah, they're like genuinely really excited about the other ones as well, and that's what we're doing on daily basis.
Brilliant. Okay, let's pull up a couple of other ones. There's another one that would be really good for you, I think. What is the perception of hardware wallet security amongst Asian consumers, and how does Tangem address any misconceptions?
I think yeah, like we even like talked about this, right? Like perception of crypto wallets and perception of traditional financial tools. It's like strongly connected to it. So I guess usually lots of consumers, especially in markets with harder regulations on the crypto products, they have this, uncertainty or misunderstanding in case of safety of crypto wallets, perceiving those as a dangerous tool or like risk-taking tool. So Tangem goal is basically to explain how safe we are. We produce more than 1 million wallets, and we have never been hacked. I think it's one of the safest and like best offers on the market. So it's genuinely about sharing our journey, why Tangem Wallet is good, why your assets are safe. We always say that we're an open source, and even if apocalypses happen, you guys can actually access your assets, and yeah, like we have no access to it at all. So yeah, even if zombies are here, your assets are safe with us.
Absolutely. It's the same thing we kind of keep on repeating, that we have something called an apocalypse scenario, which we have detailed in a blog article for you guys. This is something we reference quite often, but it details exactly how things work in terms of making sure that you are your own custodial in all scenarios. So there's a couple of things that we always keep in mind. This is also something that prevents us maybe sometimes implementing a token, is that we need to have more than one available public API, for example. So things like that really make sure that we do not have our own our own inflection into the product's availability to be shared with our consumers. So that's something that we 100% keep in mind, and we're always there for security. And security does entail that only you are the only person who can access it. And the same thing with, sometimes we get a lot of feedback saying things like, well, we would like to have push notifications. Why don't I know if somebody sent me money? And it's as simple as that would require us to monitor those transactions, and we do not want to be able to, nobody should be able to monitor your transactions, comings, goings, and so on. So I understand personally why people would be interested in having a notification for that, but there's something that we just cannot do for the safety of our users, because then that defeats the entire purpose of it being a self-custodian wallet, that nobody can read what is on there, how much is on there, how it works, when it goes in, when it goes out. So those things are something that we always address and make sure that everybody knows about. But I'll share this article out into community again, and in the comments on YouTube, not comments, what do you call it, into the description of the video, just in case everybody needs a refresher. Okay, next one coming up. This is by Michael. I've seen him in the community a couple of times. I think I'll drop this to you again, since you touched upon this subject. I wonder if CBDCs will stop us buying crypto, or will be cryptos themselves and be held in wallets like the USDT and USDC. I think this is more like a commentary for you to kind of look into. Do you think that this is something that will be happening, or will be treated a little bit differently?
Oh, that's such an interesting question, and actually, like, it's really, really deep. Hopefully, will not, decide for myself if I will be billionaire later answering this or not, like granting it to myself. But yeah, for me, I actually do think that it might be cryptos itself, because community is pretty strong, and like. They just cannot like not listen to the like voices in a way. So that is why I feel like we will not be caged, rather than it will be just like the evolution for us, like different type of the scope for the crypto users for sure. So yeah, I think it's just will be like held in our wallets like USDT probably. But yeah, there are like the other, like the discussion, like controversy in here, that of course, since like it's like regulation based, they would definitely not like it to be, just like floating somewhere, just like as any other crypto in, like in your wallet. So that is why it's a bit like complicated to predict it. But because we're seeing how much Japan, for example, collaborate right now and create those type of partnerships within the sector, I do have a hope that like we will not be, tied by those types of things. Yeah, and we'll be able to actually be free. Yeah, that's
What
why
a
not.
positive crypto future we all envision.
Yeah.
All
Thanks
right.
for the It was really, really interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good question. Yeah.
would love to
Mike
hear
was
your
one of those people that we see quite often, and they have really wonderful suggestions for us that I've passed on to our internal team as well, in terms of how to position us on our website. What are the things that might work better in terms of phrasings? So, top props. I think for sure we need to get you some Tangem merch, because you're one of those people that we would want to be wearing our merch. So let's go ahead. There's something that maybe I'll tackle here right now. Hi, ladies. I've been using Tangem and I love it. We're glad to hear it. The question I want to ask is, at the peak of the bull run, will you be able to swap options? Will your swap options be able to cope with large amounts of swaps being done in one go? This is a relatively quick answer, because we are not the custodians when it comes to swaps. Swaps are carried out in accordance to our partnerships that we have. So we have various decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges who are integrated into the Tangem app, but we are not the custodians who service the swaps on our app. So that is an important distinction to make. If there is any kind of questions in terms of will you be able to cope, what to expect during a bull run, that is something that we cannot 100% comment on. But I would imagine that it shouldn't have any issues in any way. Whether it is a bull run or not, transactions keep on happening in and out all the time. So we haven't had any issues, nor have we had widespread issues reported to us. So I would imagine that the answer is relatively yes, we're prepared for the bull run, of course. And how else do you prepare for the bull run? As to not to integrate more partners, which is something that we're definitely pushing ahead with. OKX coming very, very soon, and more partners as per the roadmap will be announced very, very soon. Okay. Shall we go to a couple of the pre-plans that we have already in advance?
Yeah,
How about you tackle this one? What other wearables are you bringing in soon?
I'm actually not sure about how many of them I can talk here. Like, what is what is it that we're hiding and what is not? What is like public right now? I have too many things.
Well, the short answer is really we have a patent on the technology behind the wearables. And so for right now, we're starting off with the Tangem Ring. But because we have a patent on the mechanism, we are considering everything from pendants to other wearable devices. And of course, this is something very curious for us. You'll just have to wait and see. The ring is coming in a couple of weeks. We've got a limited edition collection of, I think, 10,000, I think. And then we'll kind of go from there, see how the demand is. So if you want us to supply more things, then you have to demand it from us, and you have to buy in. So we can kind of go from there. All right.
Thank you for this one, because I've had much more in my mind. I'm glad I didn't spill the tea.
Brilliant. I can see that Michael is having a conversation with somebody in the YouTube comment section. We will be showing this video at the very end. Check the YouTube channel for the video of showing us how durable the cards are. We have a lot of these durability videos, and we'll be showing this at the end for those who haven't seen it. Let's bring another one. This is just a commentary from Pedro, who is a lovely helper of ours. Spectacular health cards. Yes, thank you very much. And how about a last one for the lives? Anything that we do not cover right now, we will, of course, cover later. Have we tackled this one? I'm not sure. What is the perception of hardware wallet security amongst Asian consumers, and how does Tangem address any misconceptions? I think we've covered this.
Yeah. We did.
Yeah.
We answered. We said we're working on it all the time. Apocalypses. Everything.
Yes, it's just the problem is we have a couple of these already asked and they're duplicated in different wordings. That's why. Thank you, Michael. We have done that. Okay, how will we take one of these ones? Are there any plans for direct deposit support or recurring purchases? For now, I will say that this is not in the plans. But if you do have something that would be very interesting for us to take a look at, then we tend to go by community requests. So we have a special section on Discord or anywhere on Telegram. Just drop us an idea. We tally every single idea up, and if there is an overwhelming demand for something, then we look into it and then release it out to our community. All right. And Tangem Ring, of course, we've already touched upon this, and then we can kind of take maybe one last thing live, and then we will wrap up for today because I'm conscious of time. It's 1 hour. That's where we're coming from.
Yes.
All right. Wow, we've already touched upon this. But what testing has Tangem undergone to ensure physical durability of its cards, and what environments can they withstand? Let me just answer this quickly by saying that we have tested the durability of the cards in every way possible. We have shot through it. We have put it in ice. We have put it in fire. We have submerged it to a distance of 6 kilometers underground, and we can withstand, I think, almost anything. That is something that no other cold crypto wallet can boast about, and we have tested it and shown it to our market and our wonderful community. So extreme durability all around for sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. In which case, should we wrap up for today and be able to look at this wonderful video in which we test and see how extremely durable we are? I think that would be a good way to wrap things up.
Exactly. Everyone has to see that and understand. You know?
I know. There's too many things to cover all at the same time. And I'm just looking at the clock and I'm like, I could either take another 10 questions, but then it's just going to go way over time. So I'd rather that we kind of dive into those questions in the Discord. So I'm glad that we answered your question, in which case we're just going to wrap up for today. In which case, Dasha, today has been wonderful. How would you wrap up for today's section? Apart from going LIP, do you have any parting words for us?
Yeah, of course. Honestly, like, it's so incredible right now to open the comment section and I see so many like really interesting questions inside of it, you know, like connected to the environment, connected to like the Asian sector. I would love to answer all of them, you know, like in Discord if you guys address it there. Yeah, like I can see that so many people were, yeah, like loving this session. So yeah, thank you very much for having me, and it was a pleasure.
Likewise. I mean, it's always great to have new different new different themes every single time. So the fact that we could bring you on board today and talk about specifically your area of expertise was wonderful, and we love it. So I think tune in for next time. We're going to bring out another new guest, a new theme, a new update to the roadmap, all of the wonderful things, and then we'll kind of go from there. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you all so much for asking all of your wonderful questions. Winners for the AMA will be announced, I think, in Discord. I'll be publishing those soon within the next couple of days. Roadmap will be published into community channels and socials as well. So thank you so much for joining us. In which case, we bid you. And until next time, see you all in a month or a little bit shorter, because the wonderful Tangem Ring will be coming out, and we'll try and do a live session for that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, be well.
Hello, my name is Neil Maloney. I'm a lab technologist here at ESL Technology, where we do environmental simulation testing, and we're located in Nova Scotia, Canada. If you want a complete overview of our testing capabilities, you can visit our website, esl-labs.com. Today I'm doing a pressure test on 12 Tangem crypto wallets. The purpose of the test is to demonstrate that the wallet still functions after it's subjected to 38 megapascals, which is equivalent to the pressure you would experience at a depth of 3,800 meters. If all goes as expected, I will then repeat the test for 60 megapascals, which is equivalent to a depth of 6 kilometers. So I'm going to start by getting 12 cards into the tank, and then you'll see me putting the lid on the tank, and I'll show the pressurization portion and show the graph on the screen, because otherwise there's really nothing to see, just the tank sitting here. Here I've got the pressure displayed. Okay, we're about at the end of our hour-long hold. In less than a minute, it's going to start to depressurize. So you get to watch that. And then I'll show taking the items out of the tank and the functional test on the phone. Go. One at a time. There we go. 2, 3. 4. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All work immediately after 60.3 megapascals, depth of 6 kilometers. That's deep. There you go. Thanks very much.